So last time I promised that we would customize our setup a little bit, make it a little bit more powerful and a little bit more enjoyable to look at and use. Right now we've got this standard bash console with a black text, white background. Not super exciting, so we are going to fiddle with it. So in this window, we're basically running a program on our computer called bash, which is the interpreter. It interprets all the commands and runs them. There are many different programs that you can get that also do the same thing, but with more or different capabilities. And my favorite one to use right now, anyways, is iTerm 2. I think it's kind of one of the popular ones, anyways. It's a replacement. It's got some. You can look at the features. It's got some more powerful features. Things like copy pasting and highlighting, like clicking and highlighting in the terminal, get quite a bit easier slash better slash more what you're used to on a Mac. So go ahead and download it. I've already got it downloaded and installed, but click download and then double click it once it gets done downloading, and it should show up. So once you do that, that'll come up and you're like, oh yeah, that's great. You switch the colors. Not better. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pin this here because I like it better, and I'm going to unpin this one. So the way you can customize iTerm is up here in iTerm 2, Preferences, and there's about a billion options. The ones that we're going to try for right now are in Profiles, because that's where all the fun ones come. You can set colors, font sizes, and faces, and then some of the other. You can make your window a little bit more transparent. So if I should bring it over here and drag that, you'll see it's that's very fancy. So I actually find that really distracting, so I'm going to leave that alone. But you can also import and export colors, but you can import and export or change presets a little bit, and you can create multiple so that if you want to go back and forth between colors. So I'm going to create a new profile with this plus here and name it tutorial profile, and all of this can stay the same. There's not a whole lot there that I need to change. And then when I get to colors, I actually have a color setup that's my absolute favorite, but you can set what you want. All you do is click them and type in an RGB type value or slide and drag. I have a setup that I like. I put it here. I'll put the link in the notes because it's a little long and hard to type, but it's called an Old Hope, and it's based on kind of Star Warsy colors. So I'm going to go ahead and download that. Save this to the desktop. Make sure that you put don't append because it'll add a .txt to the end, and that's obnoxious. You want to make sure it ends in .iterm colors, and that way, get rid of that for a second. We can come in here, be gone, and we can say I'm gonna import from file, desktop, and open it up, and then it'll save it here, and I'm going to set that, and you'll notice that the colors change. So I've got kind of my C-3PO, R2-D2, Darth Vader, Yoda. I guess ostensibly that's what they're supposed to be anyways. So I like that. I'm going to go back here to text and change the font to something quite a bit bigger. There's no shame in having like a 14 or 16 point font. And if you go online, there's actually a lot of cool fonts that you can find that are, you want a monospace font. Yeah, so if you go online, you search for Fira Code. That's the name of the font, and it's my absolute favorite. So currently, at least, there's a lot of other ones that are good. I just like the look of it, and I like that it changes. So if you type some programming, you type symbols, it'll change them in place if you set things up right. So I'm going to go ahead and download that. Cool. So once I've got that installed, I can come back here, get rid of that, and set Fira Code as my chosen font. And then the other thing I'm going to do is you can see the little star here that says that's the yucky setup, and I'm going to change this and make sure that this is my default profile, so that when I close everything out and open up a new terminal. So anyways, now you can see kind of my color setup. There's my nice little R2D2 colored block, and I've got things like it'll make arrows for me, or this is a fun one, arrow with an exclamation point, and that is the beauty of things. So in this one, it was pretty short, but we downloaded iTerm 2, which has some nice features, including you can just right click and say copy, which you can't do in the other one. We got to look at some settings, we changed some fonts, we imported and exported some colors, and messed around that way. So we'll see you in the next one.